I was able to utilize the VWAP play to capture over a $3 move on Roku, and also I used the VWAP to make big gains on APHA, which is a marijuana company, and I had a small winner on Citigroup and a small loser on MU. So let's get to it. On Roku, what I saw. So Roku is now one of those stocks that is always on my watch list, and it can give you big moves. That's what I like about Roku. And what I saw was we gapped up and the open, and in pre-market we had this big bar, and we were consolidating above or at the high of this big bar, and we were at yesterday's high. So in the open, we opened green, so buyers are still in control, and then sellers tried pushing it down, but I saw that we bounced off this level, this 122.50 level, three times, once in the pre-market, twice in the open, and three times. So I went long with the low of these two bars as my risk. So I was literally risking about. So I got it at 123.50, and my risk was 122. So yeah, so I was risking about a dollar per share, because Roku is one of those stocks that you have to give it some room, because the price can swing wildly in either direction. Yeah, and I took some off at 125, at 124.97 actually, 3 cents shy of the 125 whole number, and I figured 125 is a nice whole number. It could potentially stall there and come back down, and I held the rest of my position, and we bounced off VWAP again. So, and the other reason why I got in was the fact that we closed above. We were hanging around VWAP, so I felt the VWAP was going to act as strong support as well. And yeah, we pulled back to VWAP. I held my position, or some of my position. We bounced off VWAP. I sold more at 127. 126.97 to be exact, because 127 is a whole number and it could act as resistance, and I sold the rest at, where did I sell the rest? Actually, yeah, that was the last partial actually. So yeah, I sold half at 125 and sold the remaining at 120. Actually, no, I'm getting confused because I jumped into another trade while I was in this Roku trade. So I got it at 123.50. I sold some at 124.97, and then I sold more at 126.97. Yeah. So actually, just two partials. My next trade was on APHA. APHA Incorporated is a marijuana company, and I knew that the last time it announced earnings, it made a big move on this day, on August 2nd. It moved up by about $1. It's only about, the stock is around $5, so $1 move on a $5 stock is a huge move. The stock was up about 20% in the pre-market, so I knew that this thing was strong, or going to be strong. And while I was in the Roku trade, I saw that it tried going below VWAP, but it bounced. It bounced from VWAP in the 20, and I went long with a stop the break of this bottoming tail, because this bottoming tail implies buying pressure, and I sold some of my position at a pre-market high because I figured that this level was going to act as resistance in the pre-market. It was resistance, so I got in APHA 529, and because it's a low price stock, I was heavy in terms of size, so I wanted to lock some in at pre-market high, and I kept holding. My next target was 573. I figured 575 could act as a quarter potential resistance, so I wanted to sell some there. But once we kept just hanging around this pre-market high, and it looked like we were going to lose this level, I got out the more at 545, and then the rest I got out at the break of VWAP of 530. Let's see, 534. I figured if we lose VWAP, we were gonna probably test the low of day. I mean, keep in mind that the stock is right now. This thing is up 24.5%, and who knows what it's going to do. Hopefully, it continues to go higher because I am swinging this in my retirement account, and if I could get $1 or $2 move out of it, I'm going to be happy. The third trade was on Citigroup, which announced earnings. They beat their earnings, but their net credit losses increased. So it's a mixed reaction to the company, and we made this big move up, and I had this level marked from pre-market. This level acted as resistance in July. In July, it couldn't get above 71.92, and I decided to go short. I was already profitable, so my first trade on Roku was super profitable. My trade on APHA APHA was profitable, so this was the third trade, and I went short light size because I was already profitable, so I did not want to give back the gains from Roku and APHA, so I went light, and the trade, it worked in my favor. So the reason I went short was we have this 2 minute, we have this double top, we have this daily resistance. It looked like it was struggling to go higher. Keep in mind that it made this big move up, so I went short, and it gave me about 50 cents, but I didn't lock in profit because I wanted to lock in profit at 71.25 at this level. It never got to this level, and it started coming up, and I got out before it could reach my entry price because I did not want to give money back to the market. And now who knows what it's going to do. A good thing I got out because it would have definitely wasted my time. My original stop was high of day, so I could have still been in this trade, but now it's chopping around. Yeah, so this is what it is. The last trade was on AMU, and AMU made a big move as well. It made a big move. I had this price, this level from the daily chart. It acted as it's the gap. This is this is a price I got from the daily chart, and which is on the daily chart, the where is it, the low of this bar. We gapped up from here to here, so I thought this could act as a potential resistance, and once I saw that MU rallied to this price, and now with just consolidating, I went short so I went short at 46.21, and the break of this consolidation was my stop. I didn't want to give it to high of day because I didn't want to give money back to the market, but I was willing to take a stab at it, and I was wrong. It came back, and I I got out. I was stopped out. Now we'll see what it wants to do. But do you see how this level is magic? It literally got to this price and it rejected it. That's why it's important in the pre-market to identify potential support and resistance using the daily chart. So today was a super profitable day after yesterday's red day. It feels to be back in the winning seat. I have to admit, yesterday was kind of rough. Despite managing my loss, the fact that I had a red day, or the fact that I had 4 losing trades in a row. Well, I had 3 losing trades and 1 break even yesterday, and that actually affected me psychologically. Yeah, I followed my rules. I only took 4 trades, and this is what is keeping me profitable and keeping me alive, the fact that I have these hard rules in place. So for example, yesterday, after having those losses, if I had kept trading, my losses would have been bigger and bigger and bigger. And then today's profit would not even cover yesterday's loss if I were to continue trading, because in the past I have noticed that if you're losing and you're continuously putting on trades, it's not gonna end well. It's going to end ugly usually, because trading is such a psychological game, and if you're losing and you're trying to make a comeback, the likelihood that you're going to be profitable in the long run is slim. So it's important to have rules and stick to them. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions about my trades today or my style of trading, feel free to comment below, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.